Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through some of the most common bass recording mistakes that I've seen during my time mixing home recorded bands. The best thing is, all of these tips are going to help you save a ton of time because you'll be getting it right at the source and not fixing things in the mix. Mistake number 1, not tuning your bass. One of the first places I look is intonation and tuning stability, because if your instruments are out of tune, it'll create a ton of unwanted mud in your mix. Ensuring your guitars and bass are perfectly locked in tune with each other is going to make sure that you're spending more time getting the performance and tones right, rather than fixing clashing frequencies, or if it's bad enough, just scrapping it and programming it as MIDI. One of the easiest ways to ensure that your instruments are locked in together is using a dedicated tuner for both instruments that could be your North Star for checking tuning. And the second aspect of tuning is when you're actually tracking the bass. For metal, you're going to be playing a lot harder than most genres to achieve that more clanky tone, but this comes with the downside of less consistent tuning if you aren't tuning to the part. For example, the faster you're playing, the more you're going to need to adjust the tuning for the part, otherwise the strings are going to be consistently sharp. Mistake number 2, not muting the unwanted string noise. Effective muting when tracking bass is another crucial factor that's often overlooked when tracking bass at home. And honestly, it's the #1 reason that I see producers opting to replace a bass DI with a MIDI bass performance. When you're wailing on the top string for a breakdown, but all of your other strings are flailing in the wind, causing your bass amp to fart out, you're actually causing way more issues for yourself or your mixing engineer in the process that just can't be solved with EQ. The easiest way to fix these type of issues in the studio is use something like a Groove Gear fret wrap, but if you can't find one handy, or you can just easily use like a paper towel or a rag and just kind of like work it through the unused strings to help mute them while you're tracking. And before you ask if this is cheating, bands have been doing this since Metallica's Black Album, and if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Mistake number 3, new versus old strings. This is the $25 purchase that is going to save you a lot of heartache when that new bass amp or pedal shows up and it wasn't the golden ticket to that clanky bass tone. Too many times I see bands investing in new amps or pedals, all for them to neglect the one thing that's projecting your playing to the pickup, the strings. String choice for metal bass in particular is also a bit important because you're going to want to pay attention to the various types of string material available. For clanky metal bass, I often prefer steel strings, but be sure to try them all out if you can. You'll probably need an excuse to buy more strings soon anyways. Like with all these tips, there's no hard and fast rules. The best thing to do is experiment and learn from the results you get. If you like this video, be sure to check out this one where Johnny goes over the 4 EQ frequencies that you need to master when mixing metal bass. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel to get more content like this. Thanks for watching and happy songwriting.